Hey guys, welcome in. This is the Faceoff Sports Network. I am your host, Pete Nova, and today we wanted to do a short, quick video to discuss some breaking news that came out today. So Adam Schefter reported that Jamar Chase and T. Higgins were not at Bengals voluntary OTAs. Apparently, both guys are seeking new deals now. It's not a surprise that both players are seeking a new deal. We've heard it all off season with T. Higgins, that he's seeking a new deal. They really haven't even really talked much contract extensions, and I just don't see a deal even happening for T. Higgins at this point. Jamar Chase, on the other hand, I see a deal happening. Of course, the Bengals are motivated to keep him there long term with Joe Burrow. I am a little bit surprised that he's not showing up, though it is voluntary OTAs, and mandatory minicamp is going to be the most important thing here to see. At least the next key point in the offseason to see if one or both of these guys are still missing. And if they're putting their money where their mouth is, and they're both truly not going to be there until they see an extension. And so it's very curious, and I am interested to see if both guys will be on the field week one. I definitely think Jamar Chase will be there. T. Higgins at this point, I don't know. I really don't know, guys. The Bengals did, bring in some competition at the wide receiver position in the draft. And I don't know. I think they're preparing for an exit by T. Higgins. I was thinking possibly at the trade deadline or next season. But this report just makes me feel like maybe they move on from T. Higgins earlier, and maybe he isn't in a Bengals uniform week one. So with that in mind, I did want to talk about some potential landing spots for T. Higgins this offseason. Three spots specifically that I think could be targeting him, and some places that just make a lot of sense. So for the first landing spot, it's the New York Giants. Their wide receiver room consists of Malik Neighbors, Wandell Robinson, Darius Slayton, and look, they just spent the first round pick on Malik Neighbors. Wando Robinson's a solid player. He's shown some flashes, and Darius Slayton is an NFL contributor. He's a tough guy who just moves the chains and gets the job done. Nothing flashy, but this room could definitely use another offensive target. We don't know what's going to happen with Darren Waller. Their running back position is lacking with Devin Singletary, Tyron Tracy, Eric Gray. So it would make a lot of sense for the New York Giants to be in on T. Higgins if he does become truly available. I could definitely see them making a push. I know they just made a trade to bring in Brian Burns, so I don't know exactly what that would look like, but I don't think it's going to cost a first round pick, because if it did and teams were actually interested in paying that, T. Higgins would have been moved at this point. So that's going to be my first team that I think will be interested. This edit was by DIS_DIER on Twitter X. Just want to make sure I gave them credit. The second team I'm looking at here is the New England Patriots. This edit was done by NFL Analysis. Look, the New England Patriots, they've been starving for a skill position player to raise the ceiling of their room. And they've been sniffing around at the trade deadline in the offseason. They pursued Calvin Ridley extremely hard. There's no doubt about that. There was tons of reports. And if he is available, which I expect him to be, I think the New England Patriots are going to push extremely hard to bring him in and to land him. Now, they did draft Polk, they did draft Baker, they brought back Kendrick Bourne, and they do have Pop Douglas, who's a solid player as well. And so, yeah, they definitely added to this room this offseason, but T. Higgins would definitely raise this ceiling and would give them a true alpha wide receiver X, who I think, if healthy, T. Higgins could definitely thrive and really help out Drake May in his first season as a rookie. So expect the Patriots to be in conversations. They have the money. Expect them to be sniffing around and pushing hard for T. Higgins if he truly is available this offseason. Now, the third team is the Arizona Cardinals. This is an edit by Sports Illustrated. The Arizona Cardinals, they have a wide receiver room that consists of Marvin Harrison Jr., Trey McBride at the tight end position, Greg Dortch, and Michael Wilson. Outside of Marvin Harrison Jr., who we haven't seen get on the field yet, but I I I think he's going to be just fine transitioning to the NFL. He's going to be a stud. But outside of that, they really don't. There's a significant drop off from Marvin Harrison Jr. And if you could pair Marvin Harrison Jr. with Tee Higgins and Trey McBride, it'd be a pretty nasty big three to give Kyler Murray in this offense, who's looking to take steps forward after a tough season last year where they gritted out some games, and Kyler coming back another season post injury. It would definitely be a pretty interesting landing spot, and would be my favorite of the three. I'd really love to see him go there. And they do have some cap space, so they would be able to make a move like this. It wouldn't take a ton of reconfiguring contracts and moving stuff around. So I definitely would be interested, and think that the Cardinals would be interested as well in bringing in Tee Higgins if he is available this offseason for trade. Now, the final thing before we wrap up today's video is, if T. Higgins is gone, what does that mean for the rest of this offense? The biggest beneficiary of T. Higgins leaving would be Jermaine Burton. Jermaine Burton is a rookie out of Alabama, and honestly, really like the landing spot for Jermaine Burton, whether Higgins is there or not. The Bengals ran three wide receiver sets at one of the highest rates in football last season. So even if Higgins is there, I expect Burton to see the field often. Now, I know there's a couple other guys that are there, and he'll have to, kind of fight for, I think it's Ilyasova. I might be pronouncing the name wrong. You have Jones as well. And so there are some other guys there, but I have no doubt in my mind Burton can easily beat those players out for playing time. And look, the Bengals have ranked 7th in the NFL in the last 2 seasons for total passing attempts. They're averaging over 600 in back-to-back years. So this is a team that, if Higgins is gone, where are those targets going to go? Jermaine Burton could easily step in and see 70 to 85 targets this season. It really wouldn't even shock me if he got 90 to even 100. It's a weak running back room. It wouldn't surprise me if they pass more. Zach Moss and Brown are definitely a drop off from Mixon from last season. And I think Jermaine Burton will be a solid beneficiary to Higgins if he is traded. And even if he isn't traded, I like picking him up late in drafts if he sticks at this price that he's at. Right now, he's a 209th player off the board. He's wide receiver 79. I expect him to move up and this ADP to shift, but as it stands today, if you're an early best ball drafter like myself, you can get him really, really late in like the last like 3 to 4 rounds of drafts. And if you can, I might be wrong. It might be like the fifth to last round. Might be where he's going at the highest, but I still feel comfortable bringing him in on my team in best ball at that price. And I mean, if he's at this price in redraft, I'm rostering him. That's for sure. So that's going to really do it for today, guys. We're going to continue to do more of these videos going forward. Let me know in the comments what you guys think. Will T. Higgins be moved? Is this a non-story with Jamar also not being there at voluntary OTAs? What are your thoughts? And also, what do you think about Jermaine Burton? Do you think he's worth rostering this season, I'd love to hear your thoughts, and I'm happy to answer any questions that you have. Hit us with a like and subscribe if you're not already. And thank you for tuning in, guys. And we'll see you. We'll